They can't fucking take that from us,
No.
right? They can't take that from us. They can't take us getting in a room together. They're gonna have to violently do it if they want to.
On a Friday, a July day, at the swimming pool, LA skies were blue. We left my sister with mom's new mister. Oh, the 70s were cruel. If you didn't notice this, you never noticed.
Welcome to the Marinade, a free-flowing conversation about the creative process with creative people. Each episode, we welcome musicians, actors, comedians, authors, visual artists, filmmakers, anyone who creates art to talk about how and why we make stuff. This is episode 205, and our guest is Meghan Hayes. Meghan is a singer and songwriter based in Nashville whose mesmerizing vocals and masterful storytelling have kept me captivated since before our first conversation nearly 7 years ago now. Her latest record, Latecomer, came out in September of 2025, and it is easily one of my favorites of the year. I've had the pleasure of getting to know Meghan as a friend over the years, and she's just an incredible human being in addition to being such a wonderful artist. This is a huge honor, and I'm so excited to bring you, for the second time, my conversation with Meghan Hayes.
The catch of a breath after tears.
I'm so excited we're doing this. I absolutely love your record, Latecomer. It's super fun for me, having known you for a while now, and then being a fan of yours as well, and kind of seeing the journey. Um, because to me, this record, from what I've gotten to know of you, over the years, um, and we'll probably get into some of that during this conversation, but what I've gotten to know of you, like this feels like very much a you record. This feels very much like an expression of who I've gotten to know as a person. And I wonder how you're shaking your head. Yes. I wonder how you feel about that and how intentional you were with it. Cause it made me really, I warmed up immediately to this record as I knew I would, but still I warmed up immediately to it cause it just felt so you.
Well, first of all, thank you. That is incredibly flattering, and I appreciate it very much. And yeah, I mean, I think that was what we were trying to do. I think I walked into the studio. I mean, I've known Joe for a while, but never had worked with him in, in a producer role.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he just sort of immediately got it, and he got
Mm.
that this was that this she's just gonna be effing with pillows and
Yeah, everybody, there's gonna be a lot of dogs involved here.
more.
We might both cry. Just buckle up,
No, it's
everybody.
all gonna be that way. It's just this is yeah, this is truly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that Joe is he's so good at what he does, and he just sort of said this, let's start with just you and your guitar, which is
Mm,
how I
mm,
write, which is how I started out in the first place. It's really kind of like I mean, in some ways it's extraordinarily vulnerable, like even more than anything I've ever put out, because there was just, it was such an intimate, like, oh, like, oh, that's my guitar, oh, that's my voice, it was very, we really did not do much in terms of editing or anything like that. And so and the songs themselves are really, I really have been writing. I feel more and more and more from, and not just the heart, but really my lived experience.
mm.
And was able to feel like comfortable that I was just going to put this record out and say
I
it.
love that. I mean, because I love that I know that now because the fact that you did very little editing because I think it's an even further compliment to how good both the songs are and your singing. One of the things that jumped out to me, I've always loved your voice, but like this showcases your both your voice and the way you sing in a way that I don't think your previous work did. And I love that there was very little in the editing part of it because it's so fucking beautiful. Like
Oh,
the record is so pretty, and a lot of it has to do with those two components. One, the songs are so good, and then also how beautiful your voice is.
oh, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I will tell you that Joe, I mean, Joe was like I had never really worked with anybody who was so particular before. And he challenged me in all of the right ways to be like we might not have edited, but we sure did take a lot of on some of the songs there are a lot of takes because
Mm,
like I think you can do better. I've heard you do better. And I really appreciate that. Like I think I've been looking for that my whole life, to be honest with you. Just somebody who's just like gonna hold me to a certain standard and keep after me until I get there. I think that's
mm.
what
Uh,
he did in a way.
so you were comfortable with that.
Yeah. Oh
Almost
yeah.
you were okay. How comfortable do you think you would have been with that same kind of thing starting out?
I mean, I can remember being in a recording session. This was in Baltimore, like I don't know, 150 years ago, and someone being like, just belt it out. And I belted it out because like I did, I was doing this kind of like background singing, da da da, and I was like, yeah, okay. And I think I was kind of annoyed. It was like all these older guys, and they were just like, belt it out, let's. And I did, and the mics were all like set for, dainty, like just like blare in the place. And so it made me that just like really made me realize like I actually can really put some power behind this.
Hmm.
And and it was I mean it was sort of almost like I was goaded into doing it then,
Hmm.
but that was a good lesson for me because I really that was where I started to learn to use the microphone. That's where I started. I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff. Like
Hmm.
I one of the things I love about Nashville is I've met so many people who have training. They've done this their whole lives. They know what notes are. They like know what chords are and stuff. They
Hmm.
have like had vocal training and guitar training and like they're brilliant. And I just like everything I've done has just been by kind of, you know, fumbling through life. So yeah, I think at the beginning, I think that would I remember taking it personally when these guys
Hmm.
were like, "Come on, sing," and then I did it, and it was kind of like, "Ha!" But I didn't want to take it personally. I wanted to really make a sound that I wanted to make, um,
Hmm.
and I think that I've um, I think it takes a certain producer to say to a I mean, because to say to a singer like, "That's not no, that's not going to be good enough. We're gonna do that again." Um,
Wow. And so Joe was able to say that in a
yeah.
way
Oh
that you were
yeah.
like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and he was. I mean, he was. he he really schooled me in guitar, and I mean, it's nothing. I'm not saying anything that he doesn't already know. Like I remember one day he was like, "You're not. You're. I need you to go home, and he was very specific. He's like, I need you to practice this, this, and this, and then we'll move on to something else today in this session, but you're gonna get this. You're gonna
Hmm.
get it live, and you're gonna get it one take, and all that stuff." So I did, and that was great because nobody, I just hadn't had anybody who was willing to be like, "That's not. You can do better than that."
Mm.
Before, and
Yeah.
I'm really grateful to him for that.
I'm selfishly mining a lot of this for I'm going to the studio for the very first time this
I
weekend.
know this weekend. I mean, I
This
knew you were
weekend.
going to make a record, but I didn't know it was this weekend.
We're starting this weekend. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of selfishly mining you for some of this stuff too, because I'm so curious about it's all brand new, you know?
Yeah.
I'll be 45 in like 3 weeks, and this is the first time I've ever done it.
It's the best time to start.
Right? Yeah, I'm kind of that part's pretty fun. And I think for me, it's kind of interesting. I like what you said earlier about being with like working with people who really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Um, and the guy that's gonna my friend Chris Belcher who's gonna produce
Yeah.
the record, like he knows what he's doing, and I trust him,
Right.
right?
Right.
And but I am interested in that. I think he will. We had a really good session the other day where he came over and I just played him the songs, and then we talked about how we're gonna record them. And again, this is all brand new to me, right? Like I have no idea what any of this process looks like. And that part was like the way he was talking made me feel really comfortable
Mhm.
because he clearly believes in my songs. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing all of this. But it was a different thing to sit there, and he's played on stage with me before, but it was a very different thing for me. Just me playing while he's intently listening is pretty fucking nerve wracking, you know.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was really glad that I trusted him. But it made me think about like that approach of how open I am, and this is what I'm hearing from you too, is like how open I am to any sort of push notes, like whatever, whatever he's gonna tell me to do, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Like
Mhm.
send me in that direction. And so that was really interesting to hear you say that, like that you hadn't necessarily had somebody maybe challenge you in that way. Um, and then I'm glad that you got it because like the result came out so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
What was the writing like on this? Because I think also there's, I mean, it comes right like the very first track stops you in your tracks. The very first song really stops you in your tracks, and I'm interested in the pictures that you're painting in all of these songs because that particular song, and this is true for the whole record, but that particular song, um, I've been listening to the record a lot on my way to and from work, and that particular song, every time it comes around, transports me so immediately to something, not something in from my life. Like I'm there in the moment, you know? And so I'm interested in what your writing has been like lately and like what the writing looked like leading up to the record.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a couple of the songs on the record I wrote because Joe sent me home and said that these two songs are too similar. We wrote the
Oh,
writing song.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was like, "Ooh, you did what?" But he was not wrong. If he had been wrong, I would have pushed back. I would have said no. But he was right. And so some of the songs were written like during the recording of the record. Um,
Oh,
the one that you're
interesting.
talking about, surprised is the one song that's been around for a while.
Okay.
Surprised, I did a version of Surprised for Seen Enough Leavers,
Hmm.
and it it literally at the last minute I pulled it because it
Hmm.
wasn't right. And I mean, it had this fantastic, like it had like Audley's guitar. I mean, it was just, but it wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I rewrote that entire
Oddly.
Oddly Freed. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was aesthetically, it was beautiful, but it wasn't done. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I rewrote the song. I added a bridge. I mean, it's a different song.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a place and a time for sure.
Mm.
It is, and I mean, that's a hard song, and I think you can probably understand why it has to be right.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah. And okay, so the writing during this is really interesting. Like the writing
You're like, is
during
he gonna make me go write other
I
songs?
know, right? Yeah. Well, see, I have like 25 or so, and we're gonna record five, so I'll be like, yeah, I just wrote this.
Right?
No,
Just good. Have some extras in your back pocket. And be like, okay, I'll go work on it. And like, oh, I went to the Chelsea Hotel and I wrote this.
yeah, 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 exactly, exactly.
Oh,
Um, But what, how, like, okay, so what does that look like? You get, you go back home and you sit down and you're pen to paper. Like, what is that?
Yeah, I
That's
went
pretty
back home
wild.
and I did like an open tuning, and I was
Mm-hmm.
looking for the song I'm thinking about right now is "Break Your Heart,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'd kind of been thinking about like the idea, like lyrically, I'd been thinking about that idea, and
Mm-hmm.
but I I just didn't have a song,
Mm-hmm.
and I tuned. I think it's Dad Gad.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to figure that out because I do have a show coming up. Um,
That's
and but
a
and I just
future you problem.
pardon?
That's a future you problem.
Yeah, that's a future me problem. That's like at
Yeah,
least
yeah.
3 weeks away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so I just strum. I mean, I was just strumming. It just kind of like took an afternoon, and was like, "Well, this sounds cool. This is cool. I don't know what this is. I don't know what is this gonna do." I mean, I really literally experimented, and I wanted a drone. I kind of wanted like this drone sound, and
Mm-hmm.
it came, and then I just fit the words around it, and then I came up with the chorus and was like, ooh, I don't even know how to do this. Like I literally sat there with my guitar, like moving around on the fretboard, trying to hear what I was hearing in my head, and I
Mm-hmm.
found it, I guess. And now I have to remember what it was, but then I just practiced it, and I did what I usually do, which is to massage. I mean, the words uh, uh, I have historically a really hard time remembering the words to my own songs.
Mm.
I can remember the words to anybody else's song, but to my own, it's hard. And I've thought about that a lot, um, for practical reasons, but also just, but I think it's partly because I just have like 8,000 versions of any given song in my head because I've just edited and changed it so many times. It's like
Uh,
just like running a pebble through water over and over and over again. It's just like wearing down the edges, changing stuff around, moving it around, moving it around. Does that sound
yeah.
right? Is that word wasted? What is, So, yeah, that's my theory.
That's really interesting. I always when I'm playing live,
Mhm.
um, other than like a couple of songs that I've had for a long time or that I always play, basically the five that I'm gonna put on this record, that like the EP songs.
Yeah,
Um, Other than those, uh, and even then, if I'm playing a set, I have my set list and I have the chords written out to the side
yeah,
because I'll remember the lyrics no problem. I'll remember the melody no problem. I'll just forget where to go to get to all of that.
sure,
Like,
fair. I mean,
you know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I do. I do. And I think I mean, I think it's not an uncommon thing,
Hmm.
that people have either or both. I've seen people, I mean, now everybody in Nashville seems to have an iPad on stage with them. I'm like, what are you looking at on that? You just
Oh
watch
yeah,
TV, or does that
how do
even
you feel
work?
about that? Because
Oh,
I'm really working through this because I it used to really take me out of the moment, and even people playing cover gigs because there was a time when people go out and play 3 hour cover gigs and they knew all the damn songs they were
knew the work.
playing,
Yeah,
and so like I'm really interested in how you feel about that because I'm starting to warm up to it, especially as I
yeah.
play more. But like, what are your thoughts on that
Yeah,
thing?
I honestly, I mean, of all the hills one could die on in about the music industry, that's fine. I'm
Yeah,
okay
yeah,
with
yeah.
that. Like
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
I remember seeing like Lucinda Williams when I was in my 20s and watching her come on stage with her big binder. And
Yeah.
like, what is that? And I was like, oh, well, that's smart.
Oh, that's
Like
interesting.
that's
I've only seen Lucinda once. She
oh,
she did like a co-headline bill with the Drive-By Truckers here
oh,
in Orlando a few
did she?
years ago, and but it was post stroke, and so like I just assumed that because she did have that, and I
Yeah.
just assumed it was because understandably post stroke she might need to like no, but no, she's always done that. That's
Not
really
always, but she's
interesting.
been doing that for a while. Yeah.
Wow.
I just think, okay, well, if that's gonna like, okay, as an audience member, um, And who know, I mean, I don't even know if she needs the words there. It may be like kind of like a teddy bear, like a safety
Mm-hmm.
blanket. I don't
Blanky.
know.
Yeah.
But if she can't remember the word, she's written a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I don't get angry. I don't mind it.
Doesn't bother you.
It doesn't bother me. It bothers me when someone's got their iPad and they might have their, like, they know the words, but they're doing a cover gig and they don't know the melody. That bothers me.
Oh,
How did you,
uh-huh.
why are you doing this
Why are
song?
you playing that song? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could
What?
play any number of songs, and you're
Yeah.
playing this song. Yeah.
So that's probably the only time I really get about it. But
Yeah. Yeah. There was a dude. So I'm thinking of the exact moment. There was a guy, I will not say who, but obviously, but there's a guy
oh
here in town that actually doesn't live here. He lives in Nashville, so we're fine. But he happened to be back in town. He was playing a cover gig in my neighborhood, and by somebody, now I remember it was me. I requested Cover Me Up because I was like, this guy probably knows Cover Me Up.
yeah,
Like, he was playing a bunch of songs I didn't want to hear. And I was like, I bet he knows, even if he knows the Morgan Wallen version of
right,
Cover Me
right,
Up,
whatever version.
I'd like to hear that right now instead of all of these sort of pop country songs he
Right,
was playing. And maybe that's what the Morgan Wallen version sounds like, actually, now that I think about it. But what he played was not what I wanted to hear.
yeah,
He did not seem to understand that song,
right,
which is arguably my favorite song of all time.
right. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Um, you posted, I think maybe today, a review from Americana Highways that was incredibly flattering of the record, and I agree with everything that was said in it. Um, but there was this really wonderful line in here that maybe it's just me wanting to just brag on you because I think you're awesome, but I just thought it made a lot of sense to me, and let's see, this writer is John Jenkins. Okay, so
yeah.
shout out to John Jenkins for this too. Her writing evokes the narrative style of Willie Vlotton, though with a rawer edge and fewer musical adornments. That's a hell of a fucking compliment. And I get it. I get what he's saying there. How'd you feel when
I'm
you,
glad you're reading that out and I'm not, because
yeah, yeah.
I'm
How do you feel about that? And because I agree with him. And, I'm an enormous fan of Willie Vlotton's, and he's been on the podcast before. Um, but like, how did you feel when you read that? And how do you feel about that characterization?
yeah. I mean, I love it when somebody writes something that does something other than compare me to, like, Natalie Merchant. Not that I don't
Mm,
love Natalie Merchant, but it's like, okay, oh, she has an alto voice that can go high. So she sounds like Natalie Merchant. And so it's
hmm
nice to be, yeah, of course. I mean, so flattering. Um, but yeah, it, it always feels good. First of all, it just feels nice to have somebody write about a record that they've clearly listened to.
hmm
I mean, that's just so flattering in and of itself. Like, like you could rake me over the coals, but if it sounded like you'd listen to the record and then you were gonna rake me over the coals, I'd be like, cool, all right, at least you took the time.
Thanks for caring. Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah,
giving a shit. Yeah.
yeah, like didn't just toss it into Chat GPT and like see what comes out the other end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, that's I'm flattered. And yeah, it's a the you will soon find out that the process of making a record is long. Well, in my case, it's long. Some people just go in and they just do it. I,
hmm
for some reason, well, I know why. I mean, first of all, it's not free.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, I just I mean, there's a whole, like, I have this whole, I'm thinking about doing this whole, like, YouTube series on, like, because people are like, well, what took you so long to put out this record? I'm like, 6 years. Do you remember what happened 6 years ago? Like, my entire life blew up, and so did the rest of the planets. And, like, I know there's a lot of people who just, like, jump right back into it, but, like, I had to find a way to pay my mortgage, so I wasn't on the road, and I had to take a bunch of jobs. Like, it's just a whole thing. And So, where was I going with this? Anyway, oh yeah, but I think that that's, it's just you labor hopefully with people that you love.
Hmm.
But it takes a long time, and then there's a lot of nonsense that goes into just just the I don't know, just making it happen. And
Hmm.
so it's really nice to have kind words written about about a record. And John, yeah, the big shout out to John Jenkins. Great, what a
Yeah, thoughtful, kind words after
thoughtful kind
all
word.
of
And that
that.
was
Yeah.
apparently that was the first review that he's done for Americana Highways.
Oh, it's a hell of a review.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's some really good stuff in there. Okay, fine. I'll read a couple more things because, again, better me than you. I'll brag on you via John Jenkins. Um, Hayes eschews traditional song structures, which is this is like one of my favorite things too, by the way, in my own writing. And like you know, I love this about this record too. No verse, chorus, middle eight formulas here in favor of poetic vignettes that unfold with grit and grace.
it's very sweet. It's
It's
really
also true.
uh,
It's also incredibly true. Again, I think that speaks to what I mean by what I've known of you,
yeah,
as a person. Like all of that comes out on the record, and that makes a lot of sense that this is how the record came out.
yeah. Right. No, that
Yeah.
and that's good. I mean, that does tell me that it's, that I was true. I've been true to myself.
Yeah.
And that the process that we went through that Joe was very, rigorous about was that this record be true to the songs, to the kind of the whole emotional tenor of the record was important. So yeah, that's that's it makes me see that somebody can hear that, and that really, boy, if you ever want to feel appreciated, have somebody write something like that because that's
Right?
absolutely lovely. Um, and
Yeah.
Colin Culleton did a beautiful review as well. I don't know if I shared that with you, but I'm just these these boys from over the sea are so nice to me.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. You know, you were talking about like the last 6 years, and um, I know, like you and I, last time I laid eyes on you was in person, in Nashville,
Yeah.
and that was I've been reflecting a lot. Somebody posted one of those things. This is one of those situations where social media I actually really dig was where somebody posted one of those like engagement kind of things, engagement farming kind of things on that Instagram does, the templates where it's like you 2 years ago,
Oh yeah.
you a year ago. So I went through the process of doing that and did not post it for myself. And I realized like I'm coming up on 2 years since my 10-year relationship ended. And 6 years ago, when we first connected, we talked a lot about your marriage and that ending and you processing all of that. And then you were there for me just a couple months after things ended with my ex, and we sat and we had lunch and we talked about things, and you helped me out with a lot of things. And
Yeah.
um, I'm just interested in like how things have been in those intervening years, especially the last two since I last got to sit down with you. Just
Yeah.
like besides this, because I think at the time we were discussing like you were at least thinking about making this, if not
Hmm.
already. I don't
Yeah.
think you were
I
in the
think
studio
it's.
yet.
I think I was about to go into the studio. I mean, I think I
Yeah.
was like right about there. And then, I mean, I don't know. First of all, I don't know what year this is. I don't know what day this is. It's dark out. It could be morning
So dark. It's
or it could
cold.
be evening. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really impossible to know. I think of life as one extraordinarily long day,
Mm,
interrupted by, I don't know, sleep, dread, food, music sometimes, and a lot of work. So I
mm.
don't know what day it is. I don't know 2 years ago, 3 years. I mean, I honestly don't know. But I mean, in the intervening well, I've done some good stuff. Like
Hmm.
um, I continue to work well, 4 jobs. Um, yeah.
Songwriter and performer being one of those,
Yeah.
or in addition to? Okay.
No, being one of those.
Okay. All
But
right.
I mean, I have my own, I opened my own private practice as a healing touch provider. And
Okay.
that's going really well.
Good.
And I think you know that I run a landscaping company.
Uh huh. Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Um, and then I also am on the faculty at Emory University School of Nursing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm busy. I stay busy. I'm too busy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really too busy and I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to let go of some stuff. The problem is the economy is horrible. Um, and, I don't have, I, I'm no longer married, right? My income is my income. So I guess
Yeah.
that's why I have so many jobs. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's not like I was like a, stay at home wife before, but it's like, wow, okay.
It's a total game changer.
It's a
It's a
total,
to When you get used to that, when you're
yeah,
used to splitting bills,
yeah,
it's a total like okay, but like I'm a fucking teacher, like
right.
and everything's 3 times as expensive as it was
I know.
5 years ago, and I'm making the same salary because they don't be giving us raises.
Right.
So like I'm okay. I'm lucky that like my lifestyle is not that crazy, but
Yeah.
that part, there's so many things about the divorce thing that you're not ready for. I
Yeah.
think one of the things that I totally wasn't ready for was splitting the mortgage and splitting the food bill and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really I feel like emotionally of course I'm in a better place. But
Yeah.
like economically, I just feel like I'm still taking a beating. Like
Mm,
it's really uh I just had to hit the ground running and never stop because
mm,
would like to have housing and I would like to, be able to foster and have, and I don't have an extravagant lifestyle. Like, I really don't. I, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I have become a hermit. This is so weird. I used to think of myself as a complete extrovert, and like now, if I leave the house, it's like, wee, look, it's outside. Because I'm really working like sun up to sundown every day, and then on the weekends,
yeah.
I try to do whatever I possibly can to try to promote this record, to maybe to have a little bit of fun. But yeah, it's not there's I don't I'm waiting for the glamour um to hit. I'm not sure. I think I might have missed that bus.
Yeah, maybe, maybe not. That's another thing I keep thinking about is like trying to keep hope when it
Yeah,
comes to a lot of this stuff, especially with the creative work.
yeah,
Because I feel like you and I are both, I feel very confident saying this. You and I are both making the best work of our lives
mhm,
creatively, right? Like I know that I've gotten better at this. I know that my songwriting is getting better. I know that I'm also like other kind of creative sort of outlets that are happening for me that continue to happen in the last
yeah,
couple years, especially this last year. 2025 is like this oddly really good year for me personally, despite all the shit happening everywhere else. I'm like really grateful for everything that's happened for me personally, and so I keep holding out that hope that like just at the very least that if I could just get my mortgage or my I don't have a mortgage anymore, my rent paid for. I just get my rent paid for by the creative work.
yeah,
And I'll keep doing the day job. I like teaching. I'll keep doing the day job. If I could just
right,
get to the place where the main bill is paid for, then it feels like another stepping stone. But I'm trying to hold out hope, like reminding myself of things like, nobody's comparing me to Willie Vlotton, but like that the good work is happening, right? Like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing this incredible work and you're
yeah.
getting better. And I'm trying to keep that hope. And I wonder how like you're thinking about that in terms of because you and I both like feel everything, right? Like you feel fucking everything. And um how you're maintaining hope and what that looks like for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is, I think it's kind of the question now. I feel
Hmm.
like it's the question for me and pretty much everyone I know. Um, and I kind of see it on a lot of different levels. I mean, one of the things that I have come to realize as I have gotten older is that it's quite possible when people are like, well, what's the point of life? Right? I have started to think that perhaps the point of life is to heal into oneself. So
Hmm.
that that having self-knowledge and compassion might be the end goal. And so writing about that and singing about that and hearing from people. I mean, I have a friend, so sweet. When the record first came out, she started just text. She's like, I, I, she would just like text me and be like, I woke up with this lyric in my head, you know? And it's the problem is that we're taught that there's an end point, right? There's this idea that you do a thing and then you, I don't know, you get paid for it, maybe. But the
Mm.
fact is that for a lot of people, that's just not the case. You know, all you can do is every day like kind of live in a way that leaves the door open for the things that you witness to be able to write about those things and sing about them and for me paint about them, all those things, and just keep that door open. I think that's like, because we don't have any, I mean, this is, you know, I don't think it's, I'm not gonna, anyway, this is a shit show. And pardon, I don't know if
Hmm.
I can say that on your podcast.
I've already said fuck like 12 times.
Oh, you already did? Okay.
Yeah, it just
um,
flew right past you. You expected it
it
from me.
did, I know. It's funny because I'm like in super Zoom mode these days. Like, oh,
Yeah.
zoomed
Now
out.
you're on my show, buddy. You can
Anyway,
say whatever the fuck you want.
these motherfuckers. Uh, I mean, I just can't.
Yeah.
So, but, and you know, I will say like the Epstein emails that got released today. Like, I just want to go and I just want to play. I wish that I had a social media platform that just allowed me to play my song Surprised, like over and over those emails.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Just be
yeah.
like, these motherfuckers kill people.
Yeah.
They do. And it's the worst of humanity. I wouldn't even, I mean, human, yeah, they're human, but anyway, okay, I'm going to stop because I can hear I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is what you just illustrated, though, I think is what the reason I asked the question is that you did start out with like quite a bit of hope, and then by the end there, you were having to talk yourself down from all
Well,
of
no,
the despair.
I was having to talk myself. Yeah, no, you're fair. I, I think what I
Which is
want,
fine if that's how
yeah,
you're
yeah,
feeling. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, sorry, that's fine. That's what I'm wrestling with. Like you said, that's what we're all wrestling with. So
yeah,
anyway, I'm
yeah,
just, that's why I wanted to hear,
right.
how you're processing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm processing it by keeping moving forward. I'm
Hmm.
processing it by not giving up. You know, I think you are aware that um, that Spotify took down my last record,
Yes.
and um, I could spend an hour to 2 to 4 hours just like talking about how devastating that has been, and like the work, you know, like independent artists are putting a ton of work, and you know this better than anyone, into this crazy parasocial world. And to first of all be falsely accused, which I really fucking resent, of having these artificial streams. I was not aware of them. I was not even alerted that this might happen. This is just, it's just a travesty.
Yeah.
And it's also the record that like I was touring behind when everything shut down. Like, it was doing really well. I was like, wow, maybe this will be the one. And then bam, it was gone. And
It's a
now it's
really
like,
good record.
thank you. now it's gone off Spotify, and
Yeah.
it's just like, and I've heard a lot of people in Nashville right now are like, I can't, I'm not getting the views on social media, I'm not getting the whatever. I think you have to sort of say, I just have to rely on word of mouth. I have to rely on friends like you, to spread the word. And um, if, I think that's what I think that's what we have to keep doing. I mean, I think that this is not a, this is, has long been, the music industry has not been sustainable for a long time, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera. But I think there really needs to come, there's got to be like a like a revolution. And I think some people are doing that. I mean, I think that there are people who, I think Bandcamp is a great example of like a great platform, which is artist led and not, I'm not going to try, I can't compete against Sabrina Carpenter, nor would I want to,
Hmm.
so, but like an indie platform, um, versus, you know, a platform that's just catering to 800 artists and telling other, thousands and thousands and thousands of other artists to go fuck themselves, basically.
Yeah.
Um, because
Yeah.
that's where the hope that I will not let myself give up hope. I'm like, fine, I'll leave that platform, but I'm not going to stop making music just because you know, some capitalist group decided that they could save 3 cents every quarter by not paying me.
So wild. The I started an open mic, an
Mhm.
original music only open mic.
Yeah.
And I did it for a few reasons. One is that like in the last year, I've really ramped up my writing and playing publicly, and it was a big it was part of like the healing process too,
Yeah.
of like getting over the breakup, and there was some ego wrapped up in it of like, look at me, I'm out here playing, people like this
Yeah.
thing, but there was also like a catharsis to writing songs about go fuck yourself and
Yeah.
singing those songs, and
Yeah.
all those kind of all of that, all of it was wrapped up in it, and but I realized that here at least, and of course I live in Orlando, which is, not Nashville, but definitely a place that doesn't get enough due for its art scene.
Yeah.
But they're just, you would go to an open mic, and it was cool, it was fine, but people weren't like, you'd hear an Eagles cover and then you'd hear a Skinner cover, and listen, I love the Eagles and I love Skinner even more.
Sure.
So play your Skinner cover and play your Eagles cover, but people just having a place to go play those spaces. The Outcast speech the other day with Andre 3000 at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where he
Small
was talking
world.
about those tiny rooms. Oh my God. It's just like,
Yeah.
and what I experienced when I started this thing, it was this last week. We're a week out, and the room was full. My list got full 2 weeks before the open mic. We played from 7 p.m. till 10:15. We're gonna go longer on December 3rd because I've already got that list full, and I'm adding people. People are reaching out because they want that connection. They want to be in the room with people making their art, right? And that's the thing that I think, again, they can't fucking take that from us,
No.
right? They can't take that from us. They can't take us getting in a room together. They're going to have to violently do it if they want to. They can't take us getting together and playing songs and sharing art and encouraging each other.
No.
And I'll keep doing this digitally as long as I can. And
Right.
even if 10 people hear this conversation or 5 people are inspired by it, we're going to keep doing it
Yeah. Good.
until they take that from me. But the getting in a room together, they can't take that shit unless they want to really go after all of us, and they can't come after all of us.
Yeah.
So good luck, motherfuckers, trying to stop that revolution, because
No.
I saw it last week. I saw people showing up hungry for original art, for really human connection. We did that damn thing.
Yeah. Which is, which, I mean, that, which is the epitome of humanity, right?
Hmm.
That this is the soul of human connection.
Mhm.
And uh, and first of all, providing that space to people is, I think, a sacred act. And 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 I just think we need more and more and more examples of how we're not computers.
Mhm.
It's just like, get me away from the feed. Just like get me to people and stories. And so, I mean, I hear your heart in what you just said. And it actually makes me very excited. I long for those feel I used to feel that way here in Nashville. There were certain
Mhm.
things that made me feel that way. Um, and I don't know that it's that Nashville's changed so much or that I've changed. I don't get out to hear live music as much as I used to, and that's a shame. But I'm also, it's like by the time I get off work, I am beat.
Mhm.
So I yeah, I kind of miss that. But I'm really glad to hear that you're doing that. I think that's awesome, and I think you're right. And it goes for a lot of things. Like a friend of mine does like a Sunday supper, and it's like just a bunch of people, and a lot of them are often on the road, but they'll come back into town. It's like everybody just gets together and eats and talks, and it's just coming home. That's what it is. It's coming home. And the same thing goes for an open mic where the people, you hear their songs. I just think it's superb. That sounds wonderful.
Thank you. And then my next question was going to be, what are you doing to find that community? That Sunday dinner sounds incredible.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. Like how like are y'all doing that with Fidelity? Are you able to like every single Sunday get
Yeah.
together?
No, but it's been ongoing. It's been going on for years. And
Hmm.
so it lately we've gone, usually it's been at one person's house, but there's another person who's gone to stepped in and it's been at that person's house. And so, there's it we allow it to change, but it's really special. It's
Mm.
like just it's super special. And I it's it's interesting that you say that because I have done these pie bake offs before, and I used to do
Hmm.
two a year, and like I have just not. I mean, I was gone last summer for a lot of the summer, so that
Hmm.
was part of it. And there's just been a lot of things that have kept me from doing that. But I need to say, like, now that the record's out, I need to be able to say, like, okay, I'm I gotta get back into some of these traditions and do
Hmm.
those things because we're all hungry for them. And every single time I do them, I'm like, oh, I needed that so bad. Even if it's like I have a friend now that we go walking every Friday morning, and man, that I look forward to that more than I would think that I would.
Hmm.
Even if it's
Yeah.
cold, I'm like, I don't care. I gotta go talk. I gotta go hear what she's going and just get out there.
Because it's so easy because we are so tired all the time. We're working all these jobs and then also the stress of just everything that we see image wise in the world and the reality and the consequences, the
Yeah.
real consequences of
Yes.
fascism. It's
Yeah.
all there. And so that I love what you're saying there because like I think about, here I am a week out and I have not had a night off. Like I've worked all day as a teacher and then I've been the only thing it's not true. Sunday I watched football with my friends and I hung out. I did
That's
that.
cool.
It was just good.
It is good.
Um, but other than that, but that was another example of community, right? Was
Yeah.
like an opportunity to hang, and it wasn't low impact. It was a lot of friends, and we're watching football, and there's emotion involved, and it's easy to say after you've been working so hard. It's so easy and understandable to say, I just want to curl up with the dog and my PJs and not go out and not meet up with my friends. And then once you do the community thing, you're like, oh, thank God I did that. You know, you might be physically tired, but emotionally your cup is so full and we need it so bad.
So bad. Yeah, and I think that I think it's the intentionality that I keep coming back to. Like, thank God for Sunday supper because there's just like a thing that and like in the summer it kind of falls off because everybody's traveling, like everybody's gone. But then it
Hmm.
comes back, and it's so important. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that goes for all of the things. I mean, even, there you are with Sweet Bucket, like
Yeah, booger
the
boy.
the 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 pet rituals that we develop are so incredibly important. Like I can count every single night. I know that I will give Janie her little dentist stick and she'll curl up in her little bed that's near my bed. And then she'll get up from that bed and go and find a toy and she will tear my damn house apart. She does these zoomies that are insane. Like she is bouncing off the walls. She she just loses her mind and it's the funniest thing ever. And I'm like, I I can count on it.
Yep.
She's just going to amuse the fuck out of me.
He's gonna do every night. He's gonna get into bed. He could be just dead asleep. And then when he
Yes.
knows it's time for actual sleep,
Yeah.
he loses his damn mind and he jumps on me and he's wagging his tail, he's
Yeah, yeah,
nibbling
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
pawing at my face. And some of it's kind of annoying, but it's like so fucking cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do without it. You know,
Right.
you get so used to it. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think hope is in no small measure the small measures.
Mm.
You know, to to know and understand that the way that people have gotten through these things is community for sure,
Hmm.
and is kind of going inside and being like, okay, what do I really need to be saying here? What do I,
Hmm.
what are my, what do I want to be writing about and singing about? I
Hmm.
had another fellow did a podcast last week, and he was like, what are you writing? And I was like, for the first time in my life, well, in my life, that sounds whatever. I don't have another record written right now. I don't have it.
Mm.
It's not that it won't come, but I don't have another record written. And I think that speaks to the what I see as the really, really um, un not unobserved, but undissected trauma of the last 5 or 6 years.
Mm.
I think that um, I think everybody and hallelujah, right? The shots came out, people were able to go back to life, whatever. But we had discovered something
Hmm.
about our neighbors
Hmm.
that was really, in some cases, incredibly uplifting, right?
Hmm.
And in some cases, truly almost unimaginable.
Yeah.
And um, I would like to be able to write about that. I just am not there yet.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Oof. Our conversation around that record is going to be heavy, but I'm here for it.
I know. I know. I know. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Um, as you know, we usually this has been as I expected, an absolute delight. And we've like it's just amazing, like, and this is just the nature of I think how we interact. It's been an hour. I don't understand how, but we just chatted for an hour like it was nothing. What art has you fired up right now? Speaking of hope, speaking of like, the positives,
Yeah.
ending on a positive note, like what art has you fired up?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I was trying to think about that because I was like, I know Jason's going to ask me. Can I just tell you that I cannot stop listening to Live Drugs by the Rock.
Oh, uh-huh.
I have had that on my record player for 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I am, I'm not afraid to say it, I'm totally obsessed.
Yeah.
There is something there. I mean, I will cry at that record.
Yeah.
Even though I've heard it a million times, it's like I feel like I'm like returned to high school where I used to do that. I would be like obsessively listening to like Sade for an entire semester and nothing
Yeah.
else. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, there's a lot of great stuff out there. My brother is like the best at getting me turned on to folks, and so he sent me the MJ Lenderman record when it came out, and like great, awesome.
So good.
Um, and I've been listening to. I'm. I've also been having to listen. There's this chick, Meghan Hayes, who wrote this record, Latecomer, and because I'm trying to do all this social media, like I keep listening to my record. I'm like, I love some recommendations. We went and saw Isbell during his residency, and that was great. Obviously,
Yeah.
um,
I had to cancel my trip. I was gonna go up there. It's a long story.
it's a okay. I won't rub it
Yeah.
in or anything.
Yeah. I'm sure you had an amazing time. It's always, I promised myself I'll go every year. I didn't go this year. I'll be back next year. Anyway.
It it was great. Anyway, but and I, I think I saw. Have we had a talk about Rosalie,
No, I don't
the
think so.
artist named Rosalie?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know.
Run, Do Not Walk
Okay.
to Bandcamp,
Okay.
and Bite Down is her latest record. Well, it's not even
Okay.
her latest record. She's got all these side projects, but Bite Down,
Okay.
I have been listening to pretty relentlessly. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I went to see her last summer in Asheville because she didn't have any Nashville dates. And then but then she had Nashville. She ended up having Nashville dates, but I was out of the country. So anyway,
Hmm.
I love her stuff, and I think
Okay.
you will too.
Cool.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
I will run. Not well. I'm actually walking to get some chicken wings, but while
yeah,
I walk to get some chicken wings to the bucket, I will listen to Rosalie
yeah, yeah.
and do
Great.
that.
Yeah, she is.
Megan, you're such a bright light. Thank you
Oh,
so much. Thank you for just like not only your art, but just like how what a human connection that we've made over all these years. I'm grateful for your friendship, and
same.
I'm just really grateful that we were the day the very first time I met you, the very first time I talked to you, I was like, this is someone who's going to be in my life, and when we have been able to, we've made that effort, and I really appreciate that. And it one of the great thrills of doing this work is when your friends put out really, really great work. And that's what Latecomer is. And I'm so excited for you and I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you. Well, likewise. It's, you know, I'm just, I love that this has turned into such a great friendship.
Hmm.
Didn't know what to expect when we first met, and
Sure.
it's just like it just keeps going. I can't wait to hear your record.
Thank you.
I may have to start a podcast so that I can interview you. um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's just fantastic. I want you to just have an amazing time in the studio. And
Thank you.
yeah, I cannot wait to hear this. It's gonna be great.
Thank you. I'm gonna have fun with it. I think
You
again, I think
are.
it's such a unique perspective for me. I'm so it's really fun to because I've gotten really good at teaching over
Yeah,
16 years as a teacher. I've gotten, I would argue, pretty good at this work, this podcast work, and I think a lot of people would agree with me
yeah,
over the years. But I don't know shit about making a record other than what I've asked people to do. So it's really fun to have that wonder and that openness and that newness
right.
to something where you're like, I'm proud of these songs,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
have any idea. I know how to get up on stage in front of 20 people
Sure.
and play these songs and really, really lean into them and charm those 20 people. I'm pretty good at that,
Well, if you
but
do
this is
that
a
to the
dip.
microphone down in the studio, you can do it.
Okay, I will do my best to do
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
will do my best to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. Well, thank you
awesome.
so much, and thank you for having me on. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And
Awesome.
yeah, I think we have to keep the hope alive. Just the people, every
Hmm.
conversation, all
Yeah,
around.
and that's what we're doing right now, right? That's what we've done. You and I've done. That's what we continue to do with the people around us. That's what this art is all about.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep doing it. So all them fascists bound to lose.
All of them fascists bound to lose.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You're the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you. Bye. Meghan Hayes, y'all. Thank you so much, Meghan. Thank all of you for listening. MeghanHayes.com for all things Meghan. This song you're hearing in this episode is Surprised, which we talked about during the episode. It's from her wonderful record, Latecomer. Go support her. Go over to Bandcamp and support her. Go to her website. Follow her on the socials. All the things, y'all. Marinade podcast for all things the Marinade. Follow us on all the socials. We're pretty active on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, just anywhere that. And if we're not on a platform and you want to see us there, let me know, and I will do my best to get active over there as well. Subscribe and give us a 5-star rating on your podcast app. Tell a friend about the show. These are all free ways to support the Marinade. Go do that while you're listening right now, please. It makes a big difference for us and costs so little of your time and energy. Also, please follow Life's Greatest Hits on Instagram and Blue Sky and Twitter so you can get updates about my other podcast with my dear friend Jordan Foley. We just released our year-end episode. It was an absolute blast to make, and I'm super proud of it. So check it out wherever you listen to podcasts. And thank you for listening. If you really like what we're doing on this Marinade thing, please consider joining our Patreon community, y'all. $2 a month. You can gain access to Patreon exclusive content like our show, Jason's Journey, where I talk about the moments that shape my creative life and provide a window into the process of making the Marinade. If you've ever been curious about the Patreon, all you got to do is sign up for a free trial. See if you like it. No pressure. Try for 7 days. Set a reminder on your phone in case you want to cancel. Keep going if you dig it. Don't care for Patreon. I'm trying to keep up with Substack as well. And then let's just say you don't want to commit. I get that. Maybe you have commitment issues. Maybe you just don't want to necessarily get all of the content, but you want to support the show. You can Venmo or PayPal us. It's just at the Marinade. And all the money goes right back into making stuff. So if you've yet to hear, I'm making a record of my original tunes. My dear friend Chris Belcher is producing. I just did a photo shoot last week with my dear friend Ashley Carey, who is at Gritty Smash on Instagram. Y'all, those pictures turned out beyond my wildest dreams. Everything about this process has been giving me more than I expected. And I never thought that I'd make it. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I was going to make a record of my own songs. But it's happening, and I'd love if you could help me out. If everybody who listened to the show and supports me in any way gave just $1 to the cause, just Venmo or PayPal at the Marinade, $1, we would be in real good shape to make the kind of record that I want. But above all, I'm just thankful that you listen. I'm thankful you spread the word about the Marinade. And until next time, go out and create something. Cheers, y'all.